Every time, every period of time, every situation, there are always people like this, beings like this, very highly evolved, very noble souls who came down to the physical dimension like us, like ours, in order to lead us back into the nobility of the heavenly kingdom, to drag us out of this density of matters which is created by ourselves for some purposes. But sometimes we created it and it became too much for us. Its function further and stronger, more powerful than we expected, and we're out of control. And these beings like masters, messengers, Messiah must come down and help us out of the Maya that we have created, of the webs that we have entangled within. Most of beings who come down here try to come back to the kingdom of God, and that's the purpose of all souls. That's why they came here. They came here in the no God kind of dimension in order to recognize God, so that they can compare, what is a God state and what is no God state or less God state. But when they come here, it's too much. The soul is not used to it, all this density, all this suffering, all this heavy and dragging matter around them. So the soul is a little bit lost, say, wow, what I do now, what I do now. So the soul when comes here, every soul, every individual spark of the divine come here for the only purpose to go back to the kingdom of God. The only purpose to come here is to recognize the other part. The only reason we came to the negative region is to recognize the positive abode that we have left. We have to leave it in order to recognize it. That's the problem. Sometimes we don't recognize our family happiness, and then we wander around outside the house like teenagers. They left home and they come outside, and then they're subjected to drug dealers and to all kind of prostitution and homeless and cold and hunger and bad treatment from the people outside. Then they recognize their home is better. Home sweet home is always better. You remember Alice in Wonderland? Yeah, she wandered around, She wished to be away from home, just disappear from home. She's bored and she didn't like it, but after a while she wants to come home. So all she had to say, just home, sweet home. Sweet is my home. Then she's back there again. That's the moment of realization. It's a children's story, but it is the journey of the soul. It's very similar to the journey of the soul. So, even though we come here, we will have some assignment, like someone do this, someone do that, and then we have to do some work. But these are nothing. These are not the real purpose of us to come here. But since we come here, everybody must do something. And that's a play. That's a game. So whether you help people or you help yourself or you married or you're not married, it's your own chosen path to go. It's not that you're married and you're not better than the other married people, or the bachelor are better than the married people. It's not that so. Just the way you have chosen to walk in order to recognize yourself again. So like people say that you have to keep the commandments, the precepts, in order to go to heaven or to go to Buddhahood. I say it's not true. Not even the vegetarian diet will keep you, will send you to heaven. It's not a must. It's not an obligation. It is a signal that when you keep all these commandments, when you live according to these commandments, you have found the way home. You are on the right path. You already evolved, developed enough to come back to the kingdom of God and reclaim your own glory again. Just a sign. Just a sign. That's just like if you graduate in college, you have some diploma. The diploma is not for you. It's not an obligation for you to have, but you should have it. Since you are graduating, you just do it easily. You pass the exam easily, and you got the diploma easily. Nobody forced you to have it. And even if you don't have it, it's okay. Just that means you're not graduated. So anyone within their heart, if they found themselves very indifferent to the worldly success or failure, to the fame and name of the world, to the passion and love of human relationship, to everything that is important to human survival, if anyone is ignorant, indifferent to all this, then they must know that they have evolved very, very far. You understand? So the commandments or the precepts are not from me, forced upon you. So don't complain to me, it's too much or anything like that. It is even for you, you should realize again that the 5 precepts or the 10 commandments, even in that matter, are not obligation from God to tell you that you must keep it or you go to hell. It's not that. You choose what you want to be. You do what you want to do. You do what you passionately want to do. Because that's the only thing you must do while you are here. But remember, the real purpose, the main point in this game is to recognize who you are again, who you really are, not who you are at this moment, but to recognize the real purity, glory of the soul, of your true self before you descend into this world. And must know that the only purpose for you to come here is to recognize the other side. Because without this negative and suffering and dark world, you cannot recognize the light that you are. Nothing to compare. And so that's why. It sounds ridiculous to me too. But that's the way it is. And that's the trouble with us. So do what you do. Do whatever you like to do to make your life more enchanting, more endurable, more bearable while you are here. Because since you are here, you might just well be here, and do what you do, what you like to do. Because if you have just been given just a short period like this, 100 years, or 80 years, or 60 years, and you couldn't even enjoy anything you want to do, then what is the, what? What's the heaven, Okay. So, do what you want to do. Just, you must have a choice, whether you want to be this kind of person or be that kind of person. And enjoy yourself. Enjoy whatever you think is the most noble, your heart most desire. Because if you still desire it, then just let it be. If you don't desire it, that means, okay, that don't interest you. And if you come here and you already know the truth and the way of awakening and the purpose of this life, and you don't share it with other people, you also feel bad. And that also nagging in your soul, and also a kind of nuisance. You know what I mean? Oh, you get sick, you feel sick, you feel bored, and you feel itchy. Yeah? And then you scratch here and also don't look good either. And then finally you say, okay, let's just, get out and do it. Because all the soul has this purpose in mind. Either he's already realized souls, or he just realized soul, or on the way to realization. They all have this duty to rekindle the memories of the other brothers and sisters about their purpose of coming back to the kingdom of God. Because that's the only purpose why we come here. How paradoxical it seems to you, it still is. It's still the only sole purpose of wanting to recognize the light So come into the darkness. The only purpose of coming to the darkness in this universe is just to recognize the light that we have. That's why we create this body by our own power of creativity to condense the matter together, become one piece like this. From our billions of units of energy, of different kind of intelligence and abilities to condense together, make it become a body like this, all concentrated, so that we have all the information, all the tools, all the abilities that we need in order to recognize ourselves. So everything boiled down to this. You come here so that you can go back. Isn't that stupid? Sounds stupid, but that's the only thing to do here and there or anywhere. Because we have been in heaven so long and we have everything we wanted. So we want to know what it is like about what we are having now and what we really are now. What is it? You know, what is mean heaven? Huh? So you have to go down to hell to get it. To say, oh, go, no, not this one. Now I know it. And okay, get me back quickly. Oh, that's what it is. Huh? But it sounds very paradoxical. But otherwise, can you imagine what else to do in the universe? Except coming up and down the ladder and play fool and then go back and recognize yourself and come down and, and suffer and come back again, huh? Otherwise, no creation exists. Nothing going on in the universe. Not even the moon, the stars, the heavenly bodies, the firmament, the earth, the planets, all these galaxies. Nothing ever come into being if we do not steer in our super consciousness the idea of wanting to know ourselves, that nothing came into being and nothing necessarily exists at all. But so it is, as it is, that we have created, that we wanted to know, that we wanted to create, so that it has abundance, so that it became the universe, so that all things run according to our plan and our wish, so that we know that we have such tremendous power, that we create all this, and that we can even withhold and withdraw all this and go back to nothingness, go back to the bliss that it is, and nothing more. That is the time for the end of the creation, when all the minds, all the consciousness take a rest. That is the seventh day of God's creation. That is the day when all things come back to nothing. All things come back to where it belongs and be recreated again.